We went to see a surgeon and he just took one look and he said, "Why haven't you been to see me sooner?" I said, "Well, I tried, but I was told not to worry about it." And he said, "Yeah, well, I think you've got cancer." So he said, "We need to do a whole lot of tests." And so we did the tests and they come back in November as a confirmation that, yeah, you got Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the ball started rolling properly. Well, initially I was really shocked because I thought I'd lived healthily and well, and I thought cancers came from doing things to yourself, like smoking and drinking alcohol and not being fit. This had nothing to do with it. It was one of those diagnoses that it didn't matter what I'd done. I didn't want to think about it too much, though. That's the only way I could deal with it. It was there, and I felt I could make myself more unwell if I thought too much about everything. And it was just enough to keep surviving as it was. It felt like I was on survival mode. And I hunkered down at home, and my husband went on a regime of trying to find food for me because I was feeling so sick, even with all the drugs. I got nerve damage in my feet and hands, and my veins got damaged in my hands. I had to have a PICC line put in, which was such a blessing. Horrible, but a real blessing, because it just meant that when the chemo was flushing through my system, it was going through quite fast. I've still got side effects though, even now. There is the tiredness still going, but it's way better than it was. When there was a good day, when the energy would return a bit, I would go walking with my husband. I couldn't cope on my own doing anything. It just felt like I needed him 24/7. Well, I wasn't recovering quite in the way that I thought I would post-chemo, post-radiation, and I figured out I really needed to access some sort of physiotherapy. So I phoned the social worker who was connected to the cancer centre. She said, "Oh, PINC STEEL is available." And I said, "Great, I'm going to give them a call." So I connected with Kirsten then, and we booked some sessions of straight one-on-one physio to assess where I was at, what was going on symptom-wise, and what needed work on for me to recover and work through. And then there was a extra proposal put out to me to join the exercise classes. Initially I was like, and then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, I've done these before in a different form, way earlier in my life, and actually it was really cool. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that, and I'm so glad I did. It was really neat to socialise with all the people who've had other types of cancer journeys, us turning up with our wigs and our hats, and it's the norm rather than the not normal stage, you know, for people to see you with your hat on outside. That's the norm, and they're lovely people to be with, and the physiotherapy and the classes helped me regain the strength and the balance that I was missing. Because of the exercises, suddenly I can stand on one leg as if it's normal with no It's so good to get that back. I'd forgotten about it. And returned that sense of self-confidence. It's given me that back, which was an unexpected benefit. But I realised I was still feeling really vulnerable when I started the classes. Socialising with people similarly as myself was the best thing ever. I love it. I feel more like me than I have since the whole diagnosis. Kirsten is my physio, and she's lovely. She's gentle. She didn't ask anything other than what I was capable of putting myself towards. She's very good at assessing where I was at. She's very tolerant to how much I yabber on about what's going on for me. And she's a great instructor in the class. What she gave me was enough to keep striving towards, and it works. It's definitely worked, yeah. The symptoms that I had have lessened. I've still got some there, but I believe that's a time factor, and I need to do the exercises. I haven't got all the energy I used to have, but it's returning incrementally, I'd say. I wouldn't have been in this position, which I feel like I've got a heap of energy compared to where I was, if I hadn't done the physio classes. If you can get yourself to these physiotherapy people and or any form of exercise, and just, you kind of have to, even when you're super tired. But don't do any more than what you're capable of. As soon as I'd seen Kirsten, the process started, and the joy started, and the good feelings started, and returning me to myself, which is, yeah, more than I'd expected. Yeah, I hadn't realised how much of myself I'd got lost in the process. And I really don't want to be in this position anymore. I want to get back and see if I can restore some health that I feel I could return to. And I've got to give it a good go, because if I don't, it doesn't look good, whatever that even looks like. Kirsten saving grace. Yeah. Great person to have on board. Keeping me on my toes in a nice, gentle way. It's just not a taskmaster. Just this is what you need to do, and let's give this a go, and it works. The importance of the body's recovery. It needs, and we need help, really. I'd be interested to know if anyone has done a full recovery process, post-chemo, post-radiation, all on their own bat. From what I've seen in the class, pretty much everyone's saying the same thing about how it has given them a sense of their physical selves again, that their bodies can be used well. I don't see myself actually having achieved my sense of self and my sense of physical wellness without the classes, and I'm pretty sure the people in the class would say the same thing. It's probably something that should be recommended in the cancer centres. The post-recovery stages, you need help and you need physical rehabilitation. It's a no-brainer. That's all I can say about it.